Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
First carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 16 carries, 65 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. So here's the starting 11, and the human highlight reel, Odell Beckham Jr., watch out for him.
One of the few guys in the league that gets you and I out of our hotel rooms early to get here for pregame warm-ups and watch him go through his routine. He's absolutely amazing catching the football.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 20-yard line. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Dancing to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Watson on first down. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Watson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 27-yard line. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it in. Side to 10 to the 7. Here's Watson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Back to throw, Watson. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. From 3 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, West. This is the tight end, Njoku. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Going right side here, and that's complete. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
To throw is Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
A quick throw complete out to Beckham. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. West. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Here's Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
On first down, Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. And
he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Jets will extend their lead. Butker on for the PAT.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 15. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. A run for Nick Chubb. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. Now they can't bring him down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So, all right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the 2nd half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here are the Jets now to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. The previous play, big on the ground. That one big through the air. Things have jumped up quickly.
Certainly appears that whatever their thought process is on the defensive side of the ball, they're one play behind. You know, loaded up for the pass, they hit them with the run. Load up for the run, they hit them with the pass. They've got to get in sync.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. From 10 yards out. And the Jets will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the 2nd half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And again, it's Chubb. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. It's caught by OBJ. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 34-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
That's you. Single.
Off the bootleg. West. It's caught. Beckham. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Chubb. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
That's out to Chubb, complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, West. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
New York set to take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Balaj. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 33. Watson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover and double and triple and do what you have to do? But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Watson looks to throw again. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Jets will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. The Browns on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. West. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
This will be fielded at the 17. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Watson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And out across midfield down to the 45. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon.
Man, I got you. Man,
now a 1st down throw, Watson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll run here with Balaj. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll stay on the ground. Ballage again. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Back to throw. West. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. West. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
After the interception, here's Watson. Throw left side complete. That's short. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
From the red zone now, Watson. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Watson now to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown. And the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Browns on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be third and forever. Looking to throw. West. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. New York set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it is incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Off play action. West. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
He got 29 yards that time.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe.
And this is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 38. Now, that's 2 big catches that he's had on this drive alone.
And I can hear it right now. If they give up a 3rd to him, whoever does that, go stand on the other sideline. You're persona non grata on our team.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back out onto the field now. Here comes the Jet defense. They've played a great game. I guess the only thing they would really have hoped for other than this outcome would have been a shutout, but they've got a lot to hang their hat on.
They really do, and you don't get that very often anyway. A shutout is really elusive. So they'll take this one, just a dominant performance where they were doing the dictating. Think about the guys on offense, though. What a frustrating day. They're going to have to do some regrouping.
Tell you what, though, you pitched a he's got a man, complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?